assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, milady. We legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me for... The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence to back up your ridiculous claims. Oh, that horrid tome of ill repute. It isn't mine, it was Jake's. He was a politician, don't you see? Always on the lookout for plotting rivals. Always trying to be one step ahead. Really, I should have thought a source hunter of all people would appreciate my dear husband's sense for survival. Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. And the dagger? It's simply a butcher knife used by my late husband to cut. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan? So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion?
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Cyseal, what you're made of.
Ah, cruel fortune.
You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Bravo! Yeehaw!
My word!
I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew...
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my... I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and... The theatre's favor has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to blow. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards.
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry you. You found something decent to perform, I trust, and you speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut.
My word! Did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm? Ha! Today, I think,
Fantastic!
a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this...
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic you'll be begging to hear. I obtained this curio by some rather sensational... You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Cyseal's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the... I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands. But then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quick. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it? What a generous spectator! Find a seat in the front, eh?
Fantastic!
By the seven, what a tale!
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Cyseal. My audience... You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. You've got to... pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Nation I've suffered. Get on.
Hey, stop that!
Oh, yeehaw! Ha!
Fantastic!
You there! Take a seat! Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan.
My word!
Back for more, I see! Well, I can't say I'm surprised, what with Stefan rattling off legendary yarn after yarn. Take a seat, won't you?
Right, dry shirts!
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Ha!
re, mi, I doubt I... pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many... It won't be the worst indignation I've...
Hey, stop that!
My word!
Today, I think...
Fantastic!
Come on!
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? As I said, darling, the speak to Master
You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. And who are you supposed to be? Don't you have an impressive library here in Cyseal? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up. Performers, showmen, show all of them. Cyseal, what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence.
My word! Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine. Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Jagetta, friend.
The lesser
I'm
key
Victoria.
of
When I was very... The fisherman who... He raised me like... Indeed, you...
Monarchia Daemonum. And the first edition, too. Most promising.
The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with
Lucky
the
find!
Lesser key of Sadakandras.
Esmeralda does have a propensity
Is
for
there
all
no
things
new
naughty,
book to be
hasn't
discovered
she?
in this library? The lesser key of Sadakandras. What nonsense.
Kajdanor.
Encyclopedia Daemonium.
Brief history of
I
sorcery
know it
still
by
hasn't been
heart.
returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. The Encyclopedia Daemonium.
Kajdanor.
I know it by
Brief
heart.
history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
The lesser key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Encyclopedia Daemonium.
Kajdanor.
I know it by...
Big change on your block with a whale of the good stuff.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
Well, hello there. Made a big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Ain't right, ain't true. Aaron's by the dozen.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Cyseal's ever seen.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Well, hello there.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this pie.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known
Fantastic.
Cyseal himself, that the king had a great thirst for
my word.
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you? Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you? Performers, showmen, show all of the Cyseal what you're made of. Apart from beer and flatulence. Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you? What is it this time? Katerina's given the go-ahead. Tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places. Ready for your trial by fire, you mean? There's no more savage foe than an audience, my dear. Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you? Wait.
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone... Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is. The stage is yours.
encore.
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Fantastic!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
Marvellous!
Fantastic! Good show.
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Cool. Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Simply
The crowd
marvellous.
gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over.
Bravo!
Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. They simply must. The crowd explodes into applause and appreciation. You've woven them a tale of desperation and hope, and they're...
That the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. I doubt I... pleasure to meet you. Now, please...
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king.
My
The great
word.
Sigurd and his
Cyseal, what you're made of! Apart from beer and flatulence.
Bravo! Yeehaw!
What is it this time? Bravo! Oh! Well, I'm certainly not afraid of admitting when I'm wrong. That was, well, nearly Oh, here we go. Again. Try not to embarrass yourself too terribly. Wouldn't we all? But unlike a true thespian, you haven't a scrap of material to work with. Must I spell out every step along the way? To... Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you? You there?
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice.
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced.
The
Is there
knight
no
in see-through
new book
armor.
to be discovered in this
Princess
library?
Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Steadticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom.
Demonology for dumbbells.
Esmeralda
Ugh.
does have a propensity
I
for all
need
things
something more
naughty,
advanced.
hasn't she?
The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition, too. Most promising.
Kaj Dinor. The brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
The Lesser Key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Pseudomonarchia
Volume one,
Daemonum.
Volume
And the
2.
first edition, too.
Where's the third
Most
one
promising.
gone? Shamsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Lucky find!
Demonology for dumbbells.
Performers, showmen, show all of the Cyseal what you're made
that
of.
gleam?
Apart from beer and flatulence. What is it this time? Katerina, tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places and gather you whatever crowd... Oh, here we go. Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
Who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a...
You there! Take a seat! Prepare... Ah! Yes, I know of that talent. Enter, Reginald!
Fantastic! 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 Bravo! Yeehaw! By the seven!
The stage is yours.
If I wanted to wait around doing nothing, I'd get a job at court.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Bravo! Fantastic!
Simply marvellous.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. One lady in the back is already chuckling. She must have heard this one before.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
Fantastic.
Bravo!
Oh, I hope there's an encore. Fantastic!
That's it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home.
Oh, I hope there's an encore. Good show. Good show.
By the seven! What a tale!
Simply marvellous.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
They like you. They really, really like you. Well done.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
That was really something else.
What is it this time? Well, I must say that was, well, impressive. A bit like myself during my blue... Oh, I should have been one of the greats. Performers, showmen, show all of the Cyseal what you're made of. Oh, beer and flatulence. Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise. It seems even my usually choosy audiences, and even, I don't know, don't pity when Reginald... Showman, show all of the Cyseal what you're made of. Oh, beer and flatulence. Performers, showmen, show all of them. Cyseal, what you're made of.
A coin.
Fear of flatulence. Come one, come all. Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Of course you are. Entered.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Trick back for more, I see. Well, I can't. Ha! Yes, enter Reginald the Illusion.
Ha! My word! You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big.
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step right up!
My word!
Bravo! Yeehaw!
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step right up!
My word!
By the seven, what a tale!
What is it this time? No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite. Oh, I should have been one of the greats. Oh, not planning on playing.
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo! My word!
My word!
Bravo! Yeehaw! By the seven, what a tale! My word! Bravo! Yeehaw!
Oh, come on, we haven't got all day.
The stage is yours.
Yeehaw!
Simply marvellous.
The crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Simply
Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. One lady in the back is already chuckling. She must have... The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
Fantastic!
Simply marvellous.
Simply marvellous!
That's it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
My word!
They like you. They really, really like you.
Fantastic!
Performers, showmen, what is it this time? Oh, here we... Not planning on playing to an...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
There's something else. I'll never forget it.
A few more moments and the crowd will be all settled. The stage is yours.
Simply
The
marvelous.
crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means. Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
Good show.
That's it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home. They like you. They really, really
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? As I said, speak to Mark.
And this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst of Allah. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst of Allah. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst of Allah.
You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Your return marks of victory, Hunter. We'll vanquish our foes yet.
Come on, face!
I wish for you to try it, stupid woman. The beast speaks.
How can I help you, my friend? What? I'd never. If you must know, I was merely checking up on... What a delight she is. The temperament of a tiger, the grace of a leopard, and the manners of a lady all rolled into one. A perfect puss, if ever there was one. How can I... But certainly. What would you like to know? Oh, that'll never happen. Granted, a witch could make the polymorph permanent if she'd enchant me in my cat guise, but I'm my own wizard, you know, and I don't intend to become anyone's... How can I help you, my friend? Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Now this is valuable.
Mr. Head Honcho Legionnaire! The Source Hunter says that creep Robert stole my sheep.
And?
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. What have we here, then? A so-called Source Hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Cyseal, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear? That's enough of that now!
Another perfect heist. You sneak with the subtlety of a tried-and-true cat burglar.
Why, thanks. I rather do, don't I? Ha! A few more heists and I'll be a fat cat in no time.
No doubt about it. Your easygoing sleight of hand impresses me greatly, and will...
Oh, what now? Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for sauce. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot sauce hunter. So the scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you! It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is! Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Cyseal. Ah, what was he going to do with that gold? He has a lot to answer for. But not as much as the one that did the bribing in the first place. Guess your mission is pretty clear, isn't it? Off you go to find this munificent body snatcher. You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Oh, what now? Oh, still not finished with that sorry it was stolen? Yes, yes. Well, I assume it hasn't crawled. You suspect the mayor? Dear me, you couldn't be further from the mark if you lay the blame on a paraplegic cow. The man raised a foundling orc out of the goodness of his heart. Evelyn? Master Theliron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide-and-seek with stiffs to me. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice it. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition. How to plan the perfect murder. Really? Really? She might as well wear a dress with the words "I killed Jake and I liked it" embroidered on it. So, you found a blooded knife in Esmeralda's cellar. Guess you can scratch the top candidate off your list of cliched clues, then? Not exactly enough to arrest her for, is it? If you must. Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? I haven't been stuck here for 2 years because we're being besieged by fluffy kittens, you know. Those brain-feasting freaks out there keep on coming, and it takes all the sword arms and all of Ahu's half-baked contraptions to keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay, that is all we do. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by sea. They won't. Yes, and he also spends most of his time in the guise of a cat, licking God's knows which body parts. Sects, sorcerers. He'll be seeing flying carpets next. How am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Cyseal stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good day the wind disperses the stench of decomposing corpses. I can't remember the last time I had a proper piece of steak, and by now I retch at the mere sight of... We are the pride of Rivalon, to be found and to be seen everywhere. We don't hide in the dark and lurk in corners like some I could mention. I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Cyseal.
Hey, we'll have none of that, you hear?
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must... Bro, how... Nevertheless, the scene of the crime is... It was stolen. He has a lot to answer for. If you dare stand here... Oh, what now? What about Esmeralda? What? So, you've... How? It was stolen? Yes, yes. Well, I assume it hasn't crawled back to its grave. So have you found any?
Quiet! No talking to these scoundrels.
I'll thank you to take a step in another direction. This is the Legion treasure room, and you've no business bothering with it. Your not-so-sterling reputation happens to precede you.
embarrass a bridge throw. Get the signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for
Those
life.
boots will embarrass a bridge throw. Get the signing recruits.
Sorry, sir.
The face, Furious. She bit me in the
You
face.
think that's funny,
Look
Private?
on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly
Sir,
soldiers
no,
are the
sir.
most ferocious.
Uglier be the
Have some pity.
Ah, a familiar face. Don't pity me. When Reginald came, it seems and even I don't know how he inspires such loyalty.
Come on, come all, and see the amazing
My
singing
word!
Stefan! Cyseal's only sentient...
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Patience. Pleasure to meet.
Back for more, I see! Well, I can't say That's right, a talking head. And he does... I am in the hubble before my mind, freeing myself from my would-be tomb. It was there, along the rocky beach. Ha! Yes, I know of that talent. Enter, Regent...
Fantastic!
Fantastic!
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
How lovely to... I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. I travel around Andervale.
Day to you.
You don't think it's
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes, if ever there was one. I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well. We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success. Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second-in-command. But rest assured, I am a lot more kindly inclined towards... Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders. But I, for one, have no intention of... And that is exactly what your presence in Cyseal is, Source Hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction. The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Cyseal, after all. No longer do I feel that way, though. Too many of my soldiers have fallen. The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death. I shall be very glad to share what information... If ever we want to be victorious in Cyseal, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the old church. Places fraught with danger all. There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea.
No man has gone there in a decade, and yet a light shines from its pinnacle every night. The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall tales. I fear for their safety. There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As good a place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say? A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be of use to them. There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Cysealians razed it, and built a church for the Seven instead. All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition. So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back from a mission behind enemy lines. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
The beast speaks, so you have a brain behind that feral wall, have you?
You there! Cut it out!
Don't pay attention to these theories. You'll only encourage it.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly ain't the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
Greetings, beast!
Don't let that rooster escape! He's already on the menu for tonight!
A chicken has the right to live too.
Pardon him? What a silly notion. Such a lovely day calls for a nicely cooked chicken.
I bet you'd make an even tastier roast than that chicken.
If this chicken belongs to the chef, setting it free would be the equivalent of theft.
No, we'll do as I say.
Why did...
Our Legion troops, Rivalon's finest, work up mighty fine appetite serving the Seven.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Ah, come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
The face furious. She bit me in the face.
Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly.
We'll have none of that, you hear?
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I wish for you to try it, Screech woman.
The beast speaks, so you've half a brain behind that.
Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Uglier will be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of...
Greetings! These...
Don't let that roost...
A chicken has the right to live too.
Pardon him? What a silly...
I bet you'd make an even tastier roast than that
If this chicken belongs to the chef, setting it free would be the equivalent of theft.
No. Well...
Why did you let my chicken escape?
You haven't read back that feral mall, have you?
The cretin's question crossed her lips and heaped an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tal, I think that was an insult. Look on the bright side. Everyone knows the ugly
Uglier will be
soldiers
the
are the
least
most
of it.
ferocious.
The beast looks rabid.
In that case, you'll have the pleasure of putting her down yourself.
I was waiting to try, screech woman. The beast speaks.
Greetings!
Don't let that rooster escape!
Isn't it a chicken's destiny to be eaten? We should catch...
Wait a minute! I don't want to see this poor chicken here slaughtered. I want him free! Free! Free!
Who knows what this chef might do if we don't give him that chicken? Maybe he'll carve us up instead.
Plenty of tasty dishes can be made sans meat, but with equal nutritional value. Set him free!
No, we'll do as I say.
That was close. Thanks for catching Fidgety Jack here. I guess he got nervous when I mentioned drumsticks. Let's have that bird then, shall we? Our troops are mighty hungry.
These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivelon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the 7.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter. Be vigilant.
You're joking. I've been wrong. I'll be disfigured for life.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter. Be vigilant.
Oh, there's my pepper. With its long legs and...
Warm as dragon's breath!
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine?
Ah, you return and humble me with your presence. Such a pleasure. Nay, the fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in... You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Now then, to join the fabulous five is to join a fellowship. To join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of Knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall, of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the fabulous five, and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you will get a share. By now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support one another, cheer one another, see each other through thick and thin, partake in glory and defeat. Work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Rivellon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter, and you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to love? Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign this waiver, and just like that, snap!
Pay the big cheese on your block with a whale of the good stuff.
Join a guild. Better the world. Earn a lot of gold.
You'd fall for this foolish scheme. Gods, you're gullible.
These batches only ours from the sea.
Listen, we, the Terrific Two, will soon become a one-man act if you don't join the Fabulous Five.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us? Well, besides saying I've got my...
Are you telling me this is not the most double-faced guy you ever met?
Get it while it's fresh. These batches only ours from
No, we'll do as I say and there's an end to it.
Marvellous. Magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, your very life is about to change for the better. So let us not dilly-dally. To business. Your first assignment is ready and waiting if you're ready and willing. Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favours reason over faith and all that. Not Fabulous Five material. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed... But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now ask yourself, what... Luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and claim your just reward from Mayor Cecil in the name of our hallowed guild. Easy money.
Now, you'll have your most swirling new saffron. So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, you old bat.
Not in the mood for cheese.
You can speak that way to us.
Excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine almond bread.
I am a duke in potato eating.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets. Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. I am the Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless... It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Councillor and I were anything near allies, but I truly... Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great!
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Oh, my good man. Drink, you...
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the Almighty? Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too. Justin! And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by SideQuest Monthly. 3 years running. Well, well, you're far from my caliber, but who isn't? It's good you're eager, but let me give you a word of warning. Aim for my spots, and your career in the Fabulous Five will meet a most unsavory end. Ah, you'll be dealing with Ahu's little abomination, will you? I'd go myself, but I'd fear I'd end the fight before anyone else got in their licks. If I don't leave a few crumbs for the newbies once in a while, they'll accuse me of stealing the spotlight, you see. Those nasty beasts are hardly worth my time. Though I suppose I'll step in if none of the
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my day just became rather more stimulating. Oh, stand still then, if you don't mind. I want to take a good long look at the so-called savior. Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, quite classical, isn't it? Statuesque, some might say. Yes, smooth and sturdy as marble, yet fine as a chisel's edge. And my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but I I dare say, can it be? You're exactly the person I've been searching for. I am Anna, jewel in the crown that is the Fabulous Five. I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the Queen of Arata, and, with my pockets full, helped her reach enlightenment. When the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my formidable collection of designer slippers. I contain multitudes, you see, and I am utterly replete. Except that, much to my dismay, I had as yet to find the... But then, Source Hunter, you wandered into this tavern, and I am most certain that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like if you could only fill a certain void, could connect with the right body, the right spirit. Together you could uncover new and thrilling vistas. I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Come, if ever we are to be united, we must truly entwine our fates. We must link our causes forevermore. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. Together, as a team, we'll explore the boundless realm before us. We'll uncover... So you've joined up. You've sworn to share in our adversity and our bounty alike. Oh, I can finally offer you our finest adventuring equipment at fantastic... Well, you must be thrilled to find yourself a member of a team so widely renowned for its valor and skill. And you must be even more curious about how you yourself can suit up to face such enemies as a member of the Fabulous Five must face. Well, never fear. I have everything you need. Ah, darling, that was so long ago now. Who can remember who said what after all this time? What matters is the here and now. And in this moment, I promise to give you the best... Well, you are a member of the I hear you've been tasked with taking out that crazed robot in the northern cave. I'm sure you'd like to equip yourself with the finest possible accoutrement, wouldn't you? Come, come, I have everything you need.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato peasant.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting, my dear.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, that.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, potato peasant.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting in my ear.
you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be. Well, that's...
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, protective peasant.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting, lady.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be. Well, that's...
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, protective peasant.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting, lady.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be. Well, that's...
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, protective peasant.
Oh, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron's, I dare say.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be, you old rat.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to her? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a duke, protective...
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
So, that item interests you, yeah? I can let you have it for a very reasonable price.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman bag.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
I reckon has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Lonesome? Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
May the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies Cyseal's ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine golden
You potato-eating peasant.
A source hunter! I'd like to report some dark magic. Only tainted hearts could tip as miserably as this lot. Been at the King Crab nearly 10 years now, personally. Seen it. I think I'm one of the last folks to hear him alive. That awful scream has been ringing in my ears ever since. And with the room where it all happened still under quarantine, we've a constant reminder of exactly what happened. Though that's the question, isn't it? What exactly did happen? We all thought it was Esmeralda who checked into that room, and the Duke that followed her in. I was washing up and nudging the last of the lushes out of the door when a cloaked woman rushed in right past me. I never got a good look at her, damn my eyes. But I figured the way she disappeared, that she, lucky for the perpetrators, I was rinsing bottles in the back when the terrible deed took place and saw nothing more. I'm not proud to say I ducked under the counter and damn well stayed there till I heard Ivad.
Eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pocket. Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation?
Please do keep shouting in my ear.
You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit by following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. She came from on high to we mortals and she showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into where all there, among her, go on the path to...
Your head's growing more swollen than saffrons, I dare say.
Ah, pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind. So you've wrangled a position in the Fabulous Five, have you? I'm fairly brimming with enthusiasm. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. You've been sent after Ahu's insane robot, I understand. Do you imagine that while you're busy being crushed by that abomination, I'll manage...
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
home, my good man.
Hearty welcome to the King Crab Inn, and a pleasure to have you. You look like you could use a round or three. Psst. Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject? Death and dark magic ain't exact. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman. Though I regret to say I can't say exactly. She came heavily cloaked, but paid the full sum in advance. I was used to such transactions after many similar concerning a certain Esmeralda. Figured this were just more at same. I saw one other figure go into the room that night. Someone tall, built broad like a man, but shrouded the same as she. Again, standard practice for Mrs. Counsellor and her visitors. I was startled awake by a horrendous hubbub shortly after midnight. I jumped up and grabbed me grandpappy's machete, bleary-eyed, and by the time I burst into that room, it was horribly silent. There was only Jake on the floor, dead, surrounded by what may as well have been a battlefield. Whoever done it has escaped through the window, but I saw nary a soul when I looked out. You can bet I hightailed it to the Legion barracks fast. Counsellor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much about his affairs, you know. Never figured it my business to say any. Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at this very inn, you know. He's called the Duke of Ferrol, a high title for a low man. If you haven't yet asked him about Esmeralda, I'd recommend it.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you...
Fastened tighter than the treasury.
Careful, I've spotted a trap.
I'm dripping.
flame.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
I needed that. Back on my feet again. Does anybody else smell smoke? As hot as the hell you will soon inhabit!
I can see the white light. The Seven. Call me home.
I feel better already!
into the fray once more.
The hunters go a-stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood!
The hunters go a-stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood!
Bless the seven, I am restored!
The hunters go a-stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood!
Ah, you have come. Yes, that is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play!
The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalk...
The elves of Gandavon, they lived in peace. Oh, yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset us, all undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already. Though indeed I whisper of...
I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, lady of the last gaze, I have tracked her down. By the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen son is setting fast. Colour the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand, the heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten, and
the orcs of Gazuldagar, they knew my name. Oh, yes. By the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to say...
Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc, a cyst of nature, one of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb.
Victoria, librarian, daughter, my name...
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
Comes a creeping for you, Victoria!
He is as much a savage as those orcs. And how is Victoria guilty of her tribe's crime if she was but a babe at the time?
She may not be guilty, but she'd have committed the same crimes had she grown up among...
Zuluma, soul shredder, the end is nigh.
Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria!
By the filed teeth of Zuluma, soul shredder.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign...
He is as much a savage as those orcs. And how is Victoria...
She may not be guilty...
Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria!
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a...
He has been driven to madness by grief, I think. But I understand his urge to see every last one of that orc tribe dead.
Perhaps, but let's just...
The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood!
What do you think you're doing?
The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million... The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood! Soul shredder. The end is nigh. Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria!
like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
I needed that.
By the filed teeth of Sulumar Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
There must be some way to open this.
The hunters go stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
Move along.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace.
All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
The hunters go stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
The hunters go stalking in the night.
By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments. By the filed teeth of Sulumar's soul shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments. The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood! By the filed teeth of Sulumar's soul shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria! The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood! The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in...
That I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great caravans than I have in any given place in Rivellon. All of this earth is my home, for a few days or even but a few... You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city besieged. You have seen them, have you not? Is anything amiss? A punch-on perhaps, yes. I have the blood of sorcerers in my veins, and between you and me, the blood of...
For you, Victoria! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog!
You should be more careful, madam. I am a hunter, but as luck would have it, I am not a zealot.
You'd be derelict in your duties? Sorcery is like an incurable disease. If it's in her blood, all we can do is put her down.
Needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
This woman is under my protection. To harm her is to be harmed, understood?
She dies, you hear? Or do I need to brand you a traitor?
By the filed teeth of Suluma, Soul Treader, the end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
No, we'll do as I say and...
Gods have mercy! I talked openly about sorcery in front of a source hunter. What a fool I am. Thank you, O compassionate soul that you are, to treat me so leniently. I never have and never will
In the night, by the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer. No need to worry, source hunter dearest. You'll find no sorcery here, only honest-to-God's witchcraft.
The hunters go a-stalking in the night by the needles of the million.
Ho, my good man. Drink, if you please.
Please do keep shouting.
Tell me.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Omnes autem mali demonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. For you hardly resemble the local fisherfolk, which, incidentally, No. A source hunter. That is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery. A chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. Why, simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, on one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. The
knight in see-through armor? Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Stenticken! Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
I don't like to make promises I may not be able to keep, so I must decline your offer.
Novels? Urak! What mayhem!
I was inclined to agree with Jehan, but...
Oh, simple souls. Oh, doomed spirits. What tangled webs you'd weave. But I won't be a fly to be caught in them. Begone. Reflect.
Turjageta, friend.
Dumbbells.
Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him.
The lesser key of Sarakandras. Ugh, what nonsense.
Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable... So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Hashizm bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do?
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh.
Leg Fizoda! Yes, a capital notion. Let him be brought before the law for his schemes. I am an innocent, and Eglandir would... It would probably be better if you rather than I informed Captain Aureus, though. He bears little goodwill toward me ever since my more savage brethren have...
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced.
The Knight in Sea.
The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition, too. Most promising.
Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
The Source Hunter. Have you come to your sense?
Volume 1, Volume 2... But where's the third one gone?
This isn't the grimoire I'm looking for.
Sometimes I
the
think
Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition, too. Most promising. The lesser key of Sarakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine.
The lesser key of Sarakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition, too. Most promising.
Kajdinor.